Cats. It's great to see you today. It's Mrs. Inglis and
Hi guys, it's Mr. Short, the counselors at Summit.
yes, we're excited to talk to you guys about enrollment for this coming school year for 2021-2022. So looking ahead, we're excited to share this info with you. We're going to go over some of the details so you know what to do with those enrollment forms. All right, let's get our
So while she's getting set up, you guys, just wanted to let you know, Mrs. Hill and Graham and Mr. Falls and Walker have given you guys some enrollment forms. If you are a sixth grader going to be in seventh grade, yay, you get the purple one. Okay, and then if you are a Walker Falls person going into eighth grade, you're going to get like a pink one. Okay, so what's going to happen when you see these? Mrs. Inglis, are you able to switch that slide? There you are. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. What's going to happen here is we are going to pre-enroll you in your classes that are required. So your language arts, math, science, social studies, PE, which is sixth graders, listen up. It's a half a year for seventh and eighth grade. And then literacy or Read 180 will be a half of a year as well. We're going to take care of all this, okay? If you are trying out for cheer and dance, you're going to replace PE in your schedule, and we will do that for you once the tryouts occur and the lists are given to us. We will take PE out and add in cheer or dance, so you don't have to worry about that. That's going to total 5 total classes, 5 hours, 5 credits. In your day. We're going to do that for you. What you're doing with these sheets is choosing your electives.
Yes, and of course you guys will be in literacy 6, 7, or 8, not literacy 6.
Right.
Okay, so looking ahead, 7th grade elective classes, you guys, because as Ms. Short just stated, you'll have 5 credits worth of classes with all of your required. And then you'll have 2 credits left to fill your schedule to get all 7 classes or 7 credits to fill your schedule. And so we've just broken this down on this slide so that you know the full year classes. And of course, band, orchestra, choir is all year in 7th grade. There is not the option of just one semester of choir, so that is all year. And also, your semester classes are listed as well. We're going to be going over some of those in more depth and detail. We're excited to share about some of the new classes that we've added for you in the STEM area. So we'll go through those more specifically in a moment, but again, you're going to want to have your credits total 2 when you fill out your form.
All right, guys. So like we've said before in a couple of slides now, we're taking care of 5 hours or 5 credits in your day. Your job with these sheets, the pink and the purple sheet, is to choose 2 total hours in your day to equal 7. Okay. So again, full year classes, band, orchestra, and choir. And then your semester classes are on the right-hand side of this slide if you're a 7th grader going into 8th grade. A couple of the classes we wanted to highlight for both 7th graders and future 8th graders. If you look in the semester little column on this slide right here, about, let's see, halfway down, a little further, it says design and modeling. Okay, that's a new one. Thank you, Ms. Inglis. And then automation and robotics, that's a new one as well. Okay, those are both taught by Mr. Laughlin. The design and modeling and automation and robotics are very STEM oriented, where you get the opportunity to, for automation and robotics, you get to learn different ways to create real world engineering type things. You're going to find like a use of something that, like a grand idea on how to make something better in our world, and you're going to use your creativity to design and create it there. Okay, and then you've got design and modeling that does a lot with the VEX robotics items, and again, hands-on type classes, really exciting stuff that we're excited to produce and have available for you guys next year. Now, if you're an 8th grader, there's also a new class. Well, it's not new, but it's an 8th grade class only. And that's right above where it says design and modeling, and that's materials and processes. Now that's like for the older folk, like your parents, just teasing, is like wood shop. Okay. And you get to create things out of wood and that Mr. Laughlin has. You can create all kinds of things for like your house or like outside on your deck. I've got some stuff from an 8th grader created for me, like a big planter for plants. It was awesome. Okay. So those are a couple of our classes that are new. Again, 7th grade, you won't get to take materials and processes until you're in 8th grade. But 7th grade, you do, just like 8th grade, have the option for design and modeling and automation and robotics.
Okay,
Is that okay, Ms. Inglis? Do you have anything to add?
that looks good. Just the fact that French 1 and Spanish 1 will go over those options for 8th graders.
Okay, I can do that for you guys too. So French 1 is an all-year class. Spanish 1 is an all-year class. If you are interested in just a semester and you haven't taken focus on French, which is half a year, or focus on Spanish as a half a year, it doesn't matter if you want to take a full year or of French or Spanish, you can. You do have the option in high school, if you take French or Spanish 1 as an 8th grader, you do have the option to move forward to French 2 as a freshman or Spanish 2 as a freshman and onward, if that's something that you're interested in, getting several years of a foreign language. That's a great opportunity in which to do so.
Yes. Okay. We just want to remind you that all of the course descriptions are in your PPG, your program planning guide. This is available online. As we've shared, it's under the counseling tab on our website, on our STMS website. So under counseling and then under enrollment. So you can find the PPG there. And even though we're highlighting these, you can see the course descriptions in the booklet.
So if you're like, hey, I don't know what FADE is, and you're like, what is that? You can look online, like she said, Summit website, counseling tab, it's online. You can click right on it and it'll give you a little description of every single class we offer.
Yes. 7th grade, your classes are on page 11, 12, and 13 and 14, and then 8th grade.
15 through 19.
Those are all the 8th grade descriptions.
This is just a quick slide of choir, band, and orchestra classes. Obviously, pre-COVID, that's why they aren't masked, but they do performances in the evening time. Really a lot of fun if you're interested in continuing on. However, this year, if you are thinking that you want to go on and play in the high school, 8th graders, if you're thinking, gosh, I really want to do this, you might consider joining jazz band as well if you're a band person. Not required, just a thought.
Yes. Okay, so we have our awesome theater courses, and you can take theater 1 or theater 2 or theater 2. You do have to have theater 1. That would be a prerequisite, meaning you have to take that first. You have to have theater 1 under your belt before you can take theater 2. So that's available if you're in 7th grade to do theater 1. Well, it's a semester class, so you can do both of those your 7th grade year, or 1 in 7th and then theater 2 in 8th grade. Stagecraft is another wonderful option if you don't like the limelight and you prefer behind the scenes kinds of things and building the sets and being creative and artistic in that way. Stagecraft is a great class for learning the design of the sets and so forth. And don't forget, Summit Trail puts on fabulous productions 3 times a year. So we look forward to those. And these classes help build skills to that, but are not required. If you want to be in a production, you would try out, and we can't wait to see you guys on the stage, on and off the stage too, working behind the scenes.
Okay, the next classes that we're going to tell you briefly about culinary, meaning food. If that's one of your favorite parts of the day is lunchtime, this might be a class that you're interested in. It could also earn you bonus points with your family at home if you're willing to cook them a little din or something that you've learned in class. They talk about kitchen safety and baking and preparing different types of meat. They do little competitions over who can come up with the most creative, like hot dog challenges that they've had in the past and cookie challenges. A lot of fun stuff. That's what cooking competitions means at the bottom. It doesn't mean like we enroll you for some national competition, just a competition, friendly competition in your class, and you have teachers decide whose is the yummiest or most creative. Or as you can see that up in that picture right there, it's like a pizza crust with mac and cheese and some cilantro. It's a creative endeavor right there. Okay, you do not, oh, interesting, friends, you do not have to take culinary 2 or 1 before going to culinary 2. Okay, they're interchangeable. So there are no prerequisites, none. Okay, you can take culinary 2 before culinary 1.
Yes, good point.
Sound good?
That's
Okay.
an important one. Okay, we have our next two classes here, apparel production and fade. And apparel production is going to be all of those sewing basics, and they have done some fabulous designs in there. You do use the sewing machine, and you're constructing clothing items, and it's all hands-on and so much fun. We will have a little video clip on our website if you want to see some of the students that have enjoyed the projects in that class in fade, and you can click on that link on the enrollment, under the enrollment tab on our information for enrollment, and see some of those hands-on projects. And then fade, you get to do more design types of activities, and I know many of the students, they've designed layouts of like what you want your dream home to look like, and they look at design careers, and you can see the examples of some of the design and fashion history, and it's a lot of fun for a lot of students.
All right, guys. Another option is Art 1, 2, or 3. Now, you do need to take these sequentially. So, meaning if you wanted to be in Art 2, you would have had to have taken Art 1, okay? So if you are a 7th grader, you could choose, if art is really your jam, your thing, then you could put down on your sheet that you want Art 1 and Art 2. And then we would make sure that Art 1 came in your schedule before Art 2. And then same for 2 and 3. Okay, lots of fun, low stress. Mrs. Walls does all kinds of fun things with pencil work, graphite pencil work, and painting and printing, and really fun stuff. Ceramics, where you get to use our pottery wheel, where you can make, fun Christmas presents for your fam. And that's what I got this year for my own children, and they loved it. So.
Okay, I want to highlight again just those two new classes that are available to 7th and 8th graders. We have the automation and robotics class, and again, you're going to use the VEX robotics system, and you're going to look at different kinds of things, also related to design and programming. But you can see the example there: robotic arms, traffic lights, all of those things, mechanical systems, and any kind of machine automation techniques that you would learn in automation and robotics. And then design and modeling is also a solid foundation. Okay.
So sorry, I just wanted to interrupt really fast. So sorry, but about automation and robotics, I think of like real world problems as well here. And like, I think what could make our world better or our school better. And I'm like, hey, I wish we had a people mover in the car loop. So there weren't like potential tripping accidents on the stairs. That's what I would think of.
Yes, taking some sort of a real world problem and then deciding how you can make it better with something that you design. So in a design and modeling, you learn the design process again, and again, a lot of problem solving involved in all of the STEM application. Science, technology, engineering, and mathematics are involved in both of those classes with a lot of real world application. So
So, okay, so automation and robotics and design and modeling are good for 7th and 8th graders, okay? The only one on this screen right here that's just for 8th grade, so current 7th graders in Falls and Walker, materials and processes. That's the wood shop again. Way fun, make all kinds of fun things. Plus, I would love to go in there and learn how to use like the big giant tools where they're sawing things. Of course, they wear protective eyewear and such. Nobody's lost a finger or anything, so it's a great time.
For our languages, we have our international languages here. Some of you have probably enjoyed a lot of these classes, but in 7th and 8th grade, you can do a whole semester. In 7th grade, you can do a semester of French or Spanish, or as Ms. Short said, as an 8th grader, you have the option to do a full year of French or Spanish.
Perfect, thank you. So the next items we have computer 1 and 2. That's where you get the basics of Microsoft Office apps. And that includes the whole Microsoft suite, like Excel and Slides, Google Slides, and all the things that they just keep coming out with. Same with Google products. You learn how to use those and what tools to use to get what you need or you want when you're creating or using different forms of technology. There's photo editing that you learn, like Photoshop and Adobe print and sign and Adobe type stuff. There's keyboarding skills, and then computer care, so we're not, damaging our stuff with viruses and shutting down your computer on purpose. And then the next thing is innovations in computer coding and app creating. So if you're interested in like your video games, how they are created, and you're wanting to learn how to code, again, that's a little bit of STEM type classes. This is the class for you. You get to design and develop an actual like computing device and then use that code to make it work. It's real fun as well. It's also, you get an opportunity to develop an app to help solve a real world problem. Last year, we had a student create something that was like an automatic feeder for their guinea pig. They have automatic feeders for cats and dogs, but nothing that small. They created that and it was neat.
Okay, so communications multimedia, we enjoy the fruit of the labor in this class every day with the daily announcements.
Yes.
Students will record and edit those. And also in this class, they do create the Saber Cat Scoop, our school newspaper. So all of those communication tools that you need and get info out to the masses are developed and built in this course. And again, it's a semester class, and of course for 7th and 8th graders.
Okie dokie, leadership concepts. This is where you guys you have the opportunity to learn about different types of leaders, different models of leaderships, like different leadership styles, and then team building activities. That's for 7th and 8th grade. Leadership exploration is an 8th grade class. That's where you kind of get to figure out what your leadership style is. Because again, there are different types of leadership styles. You could even think to your parents or guardians, they might have different ways that they lead the family or when they're at work. And social advocacy, which means like things doing around our school, community service type things, leadership opportunities. Then we have careers. That's an 8th grade class. Okay, that's where we get to kind of help you guys figure out what skills you currently possess or things that you enjoy doing and turning it into where you make money, because that's the best way to do a career, to get a career, is to make sure that it highlights the things that you enjoy doing or that your strengths are. And that class gives you the opportunity to kind of learn what that is and what you might be good at based on your skills and interests.
All right, that wraps it up, highlighting each of the courses in your elective options. Your enrollment form is due on February 8th or 9th, depending which group you're in. If you're Group B, your form is due February 8th. Group A, February 9th, and those are going to be returned to your social studies teachers. The same teachers that gave you those forms are going to be collecting them for us. So thank you for being prompt, making sure your parent signs the form. There's a place for your guardian to sign at the bottom of the form, and just get those returned by the deadline, because we don't know. We can't read your mind on what classes you want to take. And then if we don't have a form from you, we end up trying to guess and read minds.
Maybe you, don't have any experience in, playing the drums, and we're like, hey, maybe they want to play the drums. And then we choose band for you. And then you're like, oh my gosh, this is too much. It's too loud. It's craziness. We don't want to do that to you. So it's on you to get it to us.
Put you in classes you didn't choose. So for that reason, make sure you get us your forms, and we look forward to collecting those and getting those started for you guys.
Couple things. Yearbook is another option for 7th and 8th graders this year. And that's also at the very bottom of your enrollment form. It'll say if you're interested in yearbook. There's a little bit of an application process. You might have seen it in the announcements. If you happen to have missed that, no problem. We will have that yearbook link also on our counseling page where you can fill that out. It's like a little Google form. And that will help us determine, and Miss Sears determine how we build your schedule, and when we will place it in the school day. Now last, if you guys are a remote student, you're like, well, how do I get my form? Okay, well, that's fine. That's a great question, because your teachers can't hand those out to you if you're online. So we have put your forms, if you're a remote learner, we put your forms out for your parents to come swing by and pick up. And you're going to want them to do that this week. So when you go home and they give this thing to you, you're like, oh, I think I saw Miss Inglis and Miss Short talking about it. They'll be like, oh my gosh, yes, let's talk about your classes. Okay. And then they'll bring it back up when you guys have filled it out together.
Yep. You'll just turn those into the office, and available last Thursday. So many of you should have those by the time you're viewing this video. So we hope you have those. If not, they'll be in the office for you to pick up. So thanks, guys, for all your help and assistance. Enrollment process. So we love you guys. We'll see you.
Love you guys. Thank you.